John, I'm live here.
How many people watching?
Nobody's watching yet. Nobody's watching yet. We'll give a full minute here. Howdy, y'all, for early comers. This is Paul. Waiting a good full minute. We're gonna cruise around here in an undisclosed location right now.
Undisclosed.
Can you figure out where we're at?
Probably by that building
Building's
right
back
there.
here.
The Tin Man.
The Tin Man. Oh, Tin Man's over here, right here, right there.
And Tin Man Social. With lots of activities.
So what's this right here?
Bowling.
Oh,
Music.
they got a,
Oh, that one. Sorry, I was looking at this one.
okay. So what is this right here?
I don't know.
Could be-
Oh, that's brand new. It's still being built.
Well, we're a minute in. Nobody's joined us yet, but I'm sure they will. Howdy, y'all. Michael here. Today is Sunday. What's the day?
The 5th.
The 5th of February, 2023.
It's almost 2024. Just gone right by us.
So, y'all have seen Paul in a few of my videos, and just want to get a little bit more to know a little bit more about Paul. Paul does a little bit of YouTube, but he only posts once in a while. And we finally got our first viewer in there. Usually takes about a couple minutes for people to come in. So we are where?
Beard Park in Little Elm, Texas.
So what's a Beard Park? What's cool about Beard Park around here?
Beard Park is the main access for me to access this trail that the Corps of Engineers, I believe, put in all around along the water. A nice big 20-foot wide graveled running / bike riding trail. And it's all connected. It's amazing.
So let me grab the tripod here, or my gimbal. I'll hold it out a little bit.
Should you be more stern for your viewers and tell them?
Stern, like,
Get on live and watch me.
There you go. There you go. So right here is Beard Park.
You can use your shadows too.
Oh,
Beard Park.
yeah, Beard Park right here. Right on Eldorado Parkway here. We go over here a little bit. We got a few restaurants here. So, what do you say, Paul? We start walking down to restaurants here and talk about them a little bit.
Let's peruse the local area.
So,
Check it out.
so
See
Paul's all about the nightlife here.
Oh yeah,
Might see him in the club or two.
all the time, every night.
It's cutting the rug, getting drunk and disorderly.
Don't tell my wife.
I gotta say, this sweet rider right here. I don't know whose motorcycle that is, but
Okay.
that looks like a victory. It is a victory.
It is a victory.
Yeah, they
These
stopped
are
making
in-
victories. So, oh,
Is it working? There you go.
it's working.
Yeah, here we got live music and all sorts of things. I'm just going to read things because this is Towers Tap House. This is where I've never gone to drink anything because I'm just not that outgoing. Mike will get me out though, once in a while.
Yeah. Woo! I'm impressed. What is that?
I don't know.
That thing just started up and as loud as could be.
This is Hydro's Wake Park. I'm not sure why I haven't been here.
It does look like fun.
$65 or something for an hour or two.
So what this is a wakeboard park. You take these wakeboards and they pull you along on a cable.
We can go to the side, you can see it.
And we'll get a better view here. That's why we walk down here.
Yeah, I love wakeboarding, but I haven't.
I've never wakeboard.
It's because I can't water ski, so.
Well, I had my friend Rick take me water skiing one time. And so after he dragged me under the water for a couple miles, I was like, yeah, not so great. Turned out Rick's never water skied himself. He just had a boat.
Yeah, see, they pull you on that cable. I got up on a wakeboard the first time I tried, never got up on water skis.
Oh, wow.
There's all the ramps and stuff where I do my 1080s and my... Okay, I don't do any of that, but anyway. Maybe one of these days I'll come out and do it.
Well, Paul is getting into YouTube again, and I'm gonna... Oh, that's the sun. I don't think I should point the camera in the sun.
That there's a Texas sun.
So,
I'll step
Paul,
just
you want to hold the
behind
gimbal for a second?
I feel like, oh no, it's okay. I'll let you control it.
No, I need you to hold the
Oh.
gimbal for a second.
He needs it.
I have a need for you to hold the gimbal.
This is like, it's going off me. What's his name? I already forgot his name. The comedian from SNL that does hiking with
Kevin Neal.
Kevin Nealon. Nealon?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Neely.
Nealon.
He's got some funny hiking videos.
Appreciate it. If you're somebody like me that talks a lot, you got to have water. Unfortunately, my water bottle.
There we
See,
go.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The gimbal.
That was on purpose. He wanted to show you the beautiful
Yeah,
sky.
that was on purpose. Since we're near a water theme area.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water too, but it's because I want a healthy urinary tract.
There you go. Folks, take care of your urinary tracts. Very important. Extend this out a little bit so they can see us. There we go.
I can hide behind you.
There you go.
A little bit, make you look bigger than me too.
So Paul does a lot of prepper stuff. He's probably one of the most prepared people I know. So
Maybe.
he is big into ham radio, and his ham radio circle is all about preparation. I'm more about MCOM. He's more about. He's going to be the one that survives everything. Good grief, that car's loud.
When there's no more noise like that.
So we are live. This is Getting Out Live with my friend Paul. And if you'd like to comment live. We'll interact with you. So
You know, probably my millions of fans out there probably want to know more about me.
well, Paul also works for a undisclosed corporation, very large corporation, traded on some kind of stock market. And he travels the world as a result.
With some kind of job function.
With some kind of job function. I'm not sure what he does. I think he just enjoys flying around the world.
He knows if I tell him I'd have to kill him.
That's right. That's right.
So we don't want that.
And he gets the answer to the big corporate executive. So we don't want that.
He'd have to change He'd have to change this channel to Getting Out in Death. That could work.
Dying to get out. There you go.
YouTube Live for the Macabre.
So
This is freaking out on me.
yeah.
You gotta control it.
So with gimbals, you gotta kind of hold them up a little bit. Let me show you what we just walked past here a little bit.
We got
This is Hula Hut. Let me get up there. It's a Hula Hut. It's kind of a Hawaiian theme restaurant.
very busy all the time. Pretty bad.
Yeah, very, very packed. I don't think they have a lot of gluten-free options out there, but they used to have some boats out here. What happened to the boats? They had some boats riding out here. I guess the city said that was unsightly.
Maybe during the winter storm. I don't know. And you'll have they have a lot of car shows and stuff. My brother won. I don't know what kind of category, but he has a Corvette. He came down here and won some trophy for some category. But there's all sorts of things they do here in the parking lot throughout the year, I think.
And they got a little lake behind here. A little bitty lake. It's only about, 35,000 acres.
Yeah, this is the eastern side of Lake Louisville.
So we are in Little Elm, Texas. So Paul, what made you, let me try to put this over again. Hello.
We'll stop. Make it
There we
easier.
go. Paul, what made you get into ham radio? And how did we meet?
Ham radio. Ham radio's with the little walkie-talkies, right?
Yeah, the little, oh goodness. The little realistic walkie-talkies. Remember those? What do they call it? Radar patrol or something like that? Radio patrol?
Something. My dad used a CB when I was a kid. My only knowledge of ham radio was when I was a kid, and my uncle, my dad's brother. Whoa!
I gotta stop because we got the sun right behind us.
Should we go the other way?
Yeah, we'll go the other way here. We'll show you some pretty nature. How's that?
Yeah, they don't need to see us.
Up.
You can see our shadows.
There you go.
There's Jaws.
Bruce. Hey, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce.
Hello. There's the backside of the restaurant there. It's like your dad was in the CBs.
Oh, yeah. So, every Saturday morning, for those of you who are of age, remember Saturday morning cartoons. That was the only time there was cartoons. All you little kids these days that have cartoons 24/7. We didn't have that. Super Friends, Spider-Man, all sorts of stuff. But my uncle next door, now I know what he was doing. He had a tower up with a big antenna, and I would always hear the static and his voice through my TV, and it would ruin my cartoons. I don't think they had the noise suppression stuff they have these days, but that was all I knew until I 2008 or 7, I decided to go back to school and went back, got a bachelor's, and loved school so much I got my master's in safety, security, emergency management. Loved it a lot. Try to volunteer as much as I can around here, but at some point there in the early days I realized the importance of ham radio in that area. And I thought I probably should get my license, I guess. Probably be important. And a little further, I got the license and thought maybe I should check out one of these local clubs, see what it's all about. And I went to the Colony, the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club in the Colony. That's when you met at the VFW, right?
Right.
I think Michael was the president, weren't you? No.
I think it was VP at the time.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not an officer anymore.
You were right after that, I
Yeah.
think. And I went in there, and a great man who's what we call a silent key. He passed away, is Lee Norup. He's running Morse code and whatever. Well, I guess he was.
No, he wasn't a Morse code guy. The term
technician.
Yeah, the term silent key means their Morse code key, or their the little da da da. That's SOS, but I'm not in panic right now. But that when that key is silent, it's no longer transmitting. That means when you call somebody a silent key, they passed away.
Yeah, that's the term used for ham radio guys that passed away. So anyway, I go in there, and it's in a VFW, and he was doing a presentation on portable power and all this stuff.
That was his first presentation ever, by the way.
Yeah, and it was just so cool to me to see all that. It fit right inside my mentality from when I was a kid. In Boy Scouts, you do the emergency preparedness and wilderness survival badges. I always had that kind of mentality. So I immediately got into it, and now I'm, in local clubs and using it all the time. Became a extra license, got the highest license, I guess you call it.
Right.
And then started helping to teach some of the classes to get other people licensed, and climb the towers, help keep our antennas running right and things. But yeah, it got started through emergency management.
So Paul's actually been one of our tower climbers, and if you watch the video, it almost hit me. That wasn't Paul that dropped that camera off the tower, so we won't say who it was. Actually, Paul, I think, kicked the other climber and he dropped the camera. Is that what it was? You tripped him, you knocked him down? Or
it was a hawk, I believe is what he said. It was a hawk.
It was a hawk, that's right. That's
right. He
right.
had to distract it by throwing the camera away from us, or we could have been killed.
So we're here, this is the backside of Hydrus, and they have some other activities here. There's a little zip line thingy here. Is that a zip line or?
Yeah, it looks like a zip line.
Yeah, it's got a little pulley here. Is that a zip line, or does that actually pull them across? I bet that it pulls them across.
Maybe they learn.
Right up there. There's a little handle. Looks like it's motorized up there.
This may be where they teach people how to get up on a wakeboard.
Yeah, usually I see kids over here. Looks like they're aerating the water, and it's that hue that has the mosquito dunks in it. Or the mega mosquito dunks in it, at least. So
I was thinking it was That's almost Caribbean water. Look at how beautiful. That teal color.
A
Nice
teal color, that Six Flags color.
That nice teal
If you ever been to Six
hue.
Flags in over Texas, it's not a natural color. It's kind of a cloudy,
I think it's
green, blue, purplish color, depending on what the temperature is. I think it changes colors.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah, definitely not one to be drinking right there. So let's go on to the trail system here and check that out.
Right.
So I'm gonna go back forward. It's tracking us, so it keeps wanting to move over.
There you go.
Guys, it's hard to hold a gimbal and a water bottle at the same time trying to keep your gimbal straight and not flip it over. So,
He's doing all the work.
oh, looky here.
This looks like a swimming hole.
I don't know. My zoom control doesn't work on this, but it's a little turtle right there. If you can see him.
Yeah, I think
There's
this
the
is
backside
a
of the
swimming
restaurants
hole
here.
with those little mattresses. Maybe you can rent it out or something for parties, maybe.
It's probably, what I'm guessing it is, if I recall correctly, it's kind of like a challenge course, like a ropes course.
Oh.
But they don't have anything out there yet. So,
Okay. American Gladiator, Aqua.
something like that. We're facing forward because we got the sun in our back, but you can see Paul and I. See how skinny and
We're
tall
still
we
there.
are.
Now we disappeared. Anyway, how many do we have on?
We have two, well, it's showing two right now, so
2 are on right now.
please feel free to comment. We'd love to talk to you live here. We are live at this moment.
Don't overwhelm us with questions.
Yeah.
It's too many people at one time.
So ham radio is only part of what we do as far as preparedness. You were talking about emergency power when Lee gave that presentation.
Yeah.
What have you done as far as setting up an emergency power?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Some more expensive than others. One of those being solar panels. And that's a good thing for the environment and for preparedness. The other thing a lot of people learned during that Snowmageddon a couple years ago was a lot of people lost power. So I've noticed even in the ham radio or preparedness community, a lot of us realizing taking
Got a bike about to pass us on me. Go by here. Okay.
taking notice on what, where we were lacking, and then people made adjustments, adding generators, adding all sorts of things. So adding a generator and a plug into your house, that's depends on the generator, but you can power your whole house with a 9,000 to 10,000 watt generator.
Well, not everything in the house, not electric furnace or anything like that.
Well,
but-
you can if it's not running the same time. Like AC can't run with a stove.
Right. Well, electric furnace is about 15,000 watts, so it's a little bit.
If you, yeah, mine's gas. I guess that's why mine's not so high.
Right.
So get yourself a generator. Keep it tuned up. In other words, run it once a month a little bit. Make sure it's running. And you get an adapter, and there's YouTube videos explaining how to do it. And I think for easily under $1,500, you can get a generator power backup for your house in emergencies.
And I wish I could use my gimbal controllers with the YouTube app. I cannot.
Oh, it doesn't
So-
work with it.
No, not with the YouTube app. It does work if I'm filming through the DJI app here. I am using an OM5 gimbal. I've had it for, I want to say a year or so. It does pretty good. So,
Seems like it's working.
So we had an ice storm this past week. By the way, it's like 72, 73 degrees right now. We had an ice storm that we dealt with. And grocery stores, some of them were closing down pretty early. I think Walmart was closing like at 5 every day. So you have food storage, water storage, communications backup, power backups. So how did you do during the ice storm? Did you have to touch any of that, or?
No, I worked.
So he flew off to Tokyo and didn't deal with the ice storm here. That's
Yeah,
what he did.
I left my family high and dry for 3 days during the ice storm. I was able to drive through it to get to work, but no, none of it was used.
Well, hiya Heath. How are you doing, sir?
Is that Heath?
That was Heath. He said hiya.
What's up, Heath? We survived it. I think we did pretty good. Most people didn't lose power, so that's a good thing, but I was ready if I did. Well, not really. But I taught my boys and my wife how to use the generator, so if they needed to, they could plug in a heater and keep one room warm at least.
So I didn't lose power, but I think after the whole mess was done, people lost power. We did have what we called health and welfare nets, where we were checking on each other, and we were also checking on our neighbors. I did have a neighbor that had a mishap. They're watching. Hello there. But that turned out a lot better than it could have. You just never know. Let me switch back over. We got some back to her back again.
Yep.
I had to
You
stop.
can see the trail now we were talking about earlier. Looks a little muddy. I think they got to. Oh wait, this isn't the full trail yet. Maybe.
Well,
Should be a little more gravelly.
I think I've done this a video on this about a year or two ago called Beard Park.
Yeah.
So check it out. Be careful of that biker. Yes, Ron, we'll be careful of that biker. We're listening for him. You can usually hear when they're sneaking up on you. If you hear us stop and kind of go over the side, that's why. And he was ringing his bicycle bell, which was great.
So everyone should look at their situation, see what they can improve. How can you get yourself ready? Do one thing before the next storm, and then do another thing when you see what you need before the next storm. Start small with food storage, you know, and there's a lot of information on YouTube how to start small and maybe buy an extra can of food every time you shop or something, you know, buy one more thing. And there's of course those buckets you can buy. That can be a little expensive, but it is something. Water is important. If you don't have water, you can't really use those dried meals. You need water more than you need food. Find a way to store water. There's a lot of options. You can put it in your garage, a shed. There's even bladders that go in your tub. You fill it up and it fills the tub up with a water bladder if you don't use your tub. That's a cheap way.
And if you're getting like wicked, okay, so this area, we've actually had people talk about it like, man, y'all are really unprepared for this. Our infrastructure's prepared for hot days. Our houses are built to withstand 108 plus degree weather, because that's what we experience most of the year. Well, I'd say part of the year at least, the middle of summer. So when we're starting to have negative 8 degree temperatures, that's not the norm for us. We did have an ice storm and it was in the 20s. And it was kind of crazy. It was raining 28 degrees and the ice was melting. So that made for an even more dangerous situation because you have ice on the ground and you got water on top of it, which made it extra slick. So the neighbor that had the issue, he actually is a young guy. So age had nothing to do with that. That was just the circumstance of where we were at. So speaking of water, you talked about the water bladders. Do you have anything for long term in case something happens?
Yeah, you can get barrels. You can find them all over. Make sure they're food grade barrels. Those blue 33 or 55 gallon barrels are good if you have space. You can rinse them out as long as they're food grade or had something food wise in it. Rinse it out, put water in, and I believe it's 1/8 of a cup or 1/4 of a cup a year of chlorine to treat it once a year.
You're talking like bleach or?
Yeah, just bleach. Don't get scented bleach or anything like that. Just pure chlorine bleach.
And don't get the bleach that is splash proof bleach. By the way, na bat house. All right.
Yeah, we got bat houses all along here. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't see any guano down there, but it'd be great if they'd get in there and then keep the bug population down.
So the bats around here, they help control the mosquito population. So that's a natural way of handling things here.
Yep. A good place to start for preparedness is ready.gov. Start at the beginning. They'll even got a little template to help you start planning your preparedness.
And you don't have to go full on, have a bunker and
Yeah.
tons of artillery and claymores around your place and
No.
all that.
It's not really about end of the world kind of stuff. Just be prepared for anything. What if you lose your job? If you have 6 or 7, 8, 9 months of food supply, that's going to save you when you don't have a job.
Here you go, Ron, another cyclist.
I had a brother that did that. He lost his job for 9 months, but they had a year or so supply of food. They lived on that and didn't have to buy food. So it's not just about hurricanes and tornadoes and zombie apocalypses. It's about just being ready for the things that happen in life. So,
well, here's another thing to think about when we have these ice storms and things that are not typical seasonal things in the state of Texas. I carry a winter kit in the car if we're going to be traveling anywhere.
yeah, that's good.
And because including water and some food supplies, blankets. I have a blanket in my back seat of my car right now. I don't know how far we want to really walk
I
out
don't know
here.
how long is the video?
The video is 26 minutes long so far. Y'all have any questions for Paul? He's a bit of an expert when it comes to prepping. I think he's a lot better at it than I am.
I might know some things, but I think there are smarter people than me. I look out for my family and the people I know. I try to teach other people when I can or help other people, but you can only help and inform so much. Then people got to take those steps. That's kind of the frustrating part, is when I take time or do something to help people and then, you know, one person out of 20 actually take the advice and do something.
I think another part of being prepared that people don't really talk about, yes, you need to take care of yourself and your family, but there's nothing like community to help in your preparedness efforts.
Yeah.
Get with people that you know and are in your different circles. I happen to have several circles of friends, from YouTube communities to family to ham radio community is a huge one that I'm in. And there's a lot of little communities within those ham radio communities as well. So that's just one of my big hobbies. Everybody has their hobbies and their things that they do. I have a friend, Marcy. If you haven't checked out her channel, it's Marcy Creates on YouTube. She makes jewelry and she really works on learning how to work with different colors. So if you're interested in that stuff, or your wives are interested, give her a subscription or subscribe. Speaking of which, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We would love to have you, and we'll be doing more adventures. Of course, you know, life does get in the way here and there, so we try to work around it and have a little fun while we're doing it. So
We just need to get Michael to come do a little elm getting out in life when it's nice and green and summery. He always comes over here in the winter and it's dead bone dry.
yeah, it's cool though, but I kind of like these. If you get lost here, there's your marker over there. So your B marker
3/4 of a mile.
0.75, and you go right over here. Got the 911 and non-emergency numbers, and you just tell them that. They know where to come get you.
Eagle Scout, Troop 285.
Oh yeah, that's right. Aaron, thank you for this. That's awesome, man. And Lowe's as well for donating the material to make that. So we'll turn around here as I'm sinking in the mud.
You want to get your kids started, scouting is a great way to get them started on
So
preparedness.
we're gonna go here, and I'm going to try to zoom the camera back around here. Here we are.
So yeah, Boy Scouting, Girl Scouting, Cub Scouting, get them in. So I did that and had my boys involved and I loved it. It was great.
I personally didn't get to do scouting. Life was a little different back then. My brother did scouts for a short time, but not very long. But yeah, anything you can get your kids involved in, any service organization especially, do it. It's well worth it.
Yeah, and like Michael said, the community thing is important. If you're in a church and they don't have a program, maybe talk to your pastor or bishop or whoever and see about getting some kind of a preparedness group going where you work together, maybe buy stuff in bulk and seal it in Mylar bags together and save money by buying in bulk, you know.
That's kind of like freezer cooking when they would have those freezer cooking parties. Remember that?
Yeah.
So,
and make it a fun social event. And the more people you get involved, especially something like that where you buy in bulk, you're going to save more money. And instead of $10 a pack for, say, Mountain House dried food, you might spend $3 to $5 a pack for that same amount of food or more. So I'll do videos on. I'll do a video in the next couple of weeks on doing a soup pack in a quart Mylar bag.
mm-hmm.
It's a 16 bean soup with chicken, and you put it in a quart Mylar bag, seal it up, and what it takes is you pull the beans out, soak those, and then I think it does 20 cups of water, 18 cups of water. Makes a huge pot of soup and takes up very little space. So I'll go over that with a little recipe a friend of mine gave me that I've been able to use.
So his channel is really not active right now. Do you want to share your channel now or until it becomes active?
Yeah, they can. I mean, there's a few things to see. I posted over the years, but I've been wanting to post more to get more information out, and I just haven't taken the time. So yeah, they can go over to PrepHam Paul, and so there's a couple of tower climbing videos, and I think what else did I do? I don't know.
So it's PrepHam. That's P-R-E-P. Eagle Scouts here. Whose son is an Eagle, and graduation is about to be an Eagle. Very cool, Ron.
Nice.
Congratulations on that. So Eagle Scout's the top level you can do as an Eagle Scout. So it's PrepHam Paul. That's P-R-E-P-H-A-M Paul.
Yeah.
P-A-U-L, common spelling. And check out his channel.
Some firmware update videos on how to get on the Wires X, videos on, I think, how to send email via radio. HF, I think, was the other one. I don't know. There's a few, but I'll start adding more as I just got to organize my time better.
Yeah, Paul's very busy. He does fly around the world. He spends a lot of time in Tokyo, of all places. So
yeah, had my
tell
license.
us about Tokyo.
Had my license in Tokyo. They don't reciprocate, so you just buy a separate license.
You have to have a license here to do that, but
yeah, remember ham radio requires a license. So most countries reciprocate, most of Europe, Latin America. Japan requires you buy a Japanese license. They still reciprocate the privileges of a ham radio operator.
Right.
But you have to get a license there, and it was like 30 or 35 a year.
So what's the max power in Japan? Here it's 1,500 watts.
Oh, I want to say it's only 150.
Really? Wow.
I can't remember for sure, but I think it's only 150.
Okay.
Their licenses were like 5 watts, 50 watts, and 150 watts.
That's crazy.
They're more on, theirs is power level. So Japan, it's not your frequencies. Every licensee has privileges on every frequency, but you can only do so much power. That's the difference.
See, England, I believe that's 400 or 450. And to get your, what they call the foundation license, we call it the tech license here. It's, you have to solder, you have to work on electronics by hand. Here, you just have to know the theory.
Pay it, yeah. Small fee and take a test, but yeah, so it's a little different. I might be wrong. 150. I just think I saw that on the license. I can't remember, but anyway, yeah. So I'd bring gear over there. A little, what's called a magnetic loop. It's about a 3-foot radius wire with a little controller that tunes it, and I'd sit it outside the window, and I'd contact people. Philippines, you know, Russia, Ukraine, China, South Korea, and even in the United States. So I don't know, it's fun.
So, so ham radio is obviously a big hobby for both of us, but I want to know what you do when you're in Tokyo. So he only spends like a day or two at a time there. It's usually for business, so he doesn't tour and make huge videos of Tokyo. I want him to. He really needs to for me, because I want to know what his life's like there. But like breakfast, food, it's old hat to him because he's been doing it for 20 some odd years now.
Yeah, it's kind of normal to me, I guess.
So
maybe to others it's not.
So what's normal for you is not going to be normal for me.
Yeah, so that's one of the cool things about other countries is, besides the culture, is food. You know, you have a certain type of food in, say, Japan, and then a completely different type of food if you go to Brazil or Spain. I mean, I think we know that, but no, it's definitely something that it's something I wish I did as a kid. Like in school, I wish I would have done some kind of exchange program. I think it's a good thing to do, is to have early exposure to other countries, and I just think it's a good thing overall. But for me, it's a few times a month, and I've kind of gotten in a rut to I don't do much anymore. And of course, over COVID, we couldn't even leave or do anything.
Right.
But you know, but because I do that and I'm on an airplane for most of my job, I don't enjoy traveling on a plane. I'd rather drive a car and go up to Yellowstone or something. But I can't drive a car to many places across the water, but it's been a good job. And you know, I don't know. I told myself when I graduated I was going to go into a different area, and I haven't done it yet.
He's got his master's, but he's doing what he's doing right now.
It's hard to leave. You get older, and main income source for the household, it's hard to let go of security and go to something totally different, even though you love doing it. You know, you just it's a crazy thing to do, but I do a lot of stuff I enjoy doing with that degree and the things I learned on the side. And you could say ham radio is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Preparedness is part of that. I've helped out with the town here, and whenever they need me, they know I'm available to help with whatever. And got some great friendships here in the town and Denton County as well. So this area is a great area. The cities and county and everything really works together well to support the citizens, especially when it comes to preparedness or disasters or weather.
So one thing I'm going to say, I'm going to tag on to that. We're one of the better prepared counties in Texas, even though some people coming up from Canada the other day didn't think so as far as the winter weather. But our preparedness is different. We don't have a bunch of snow plows and sanding trucks like they do up north, because it's a rare event. So we don't want to spend $50 million on new equipment we're only going to use once, maybe every 2 or 3 years. It does not make sense. But as far as disasters, our group here in Denton County, sorry if I'm dropping y'all, our group here in Denton County gets dispatched all over the state and sometimes out of the state, just because how well we're prepared and we can handle disasters. So,
and dare I say, our county or the state probably sees more disasters than some of the areas those people were commenting from on a more regular basis. So I'd put our both county and state preparedness up to any other state. I mean, California has a lot, of course, but Florida as well. But I think Texas is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to preparedness, planning, and response, and all that. I think it's great. It's one of the things I love about Texas. And the other thing I really love about Texas are the storms. I'm originally from Idaho.
We do have storms.
I'm originally from Idaho, so I will say that I hate that I have no mountains and tall pine trees nearby me, but the storms here are so intense. I love being home and being able to step out or look out with the door open and just watch and listen to these storms. Just amazing. There's so much power behind it, and you have to respect it. So yeah, I think we'll go this way.
Yeah, we're trying to wrap this up here pretty soon.
So
I'm getting my steps in, which is great.
Oh yeah, my watch does steps. I forgot.
My phone does. I don't know if it does it while we're streaming, but we'll find out. And guys, it's important. Get involved in hobbies. Get involved with life. Get out and enjoy it. That's the purpose why I created this channel. One was I want to do YouTube, see if I can do YouTube. 2, I want some kind of accountability to get me out there. So if you have something you want to see or have me do, or partner up with me like Paul is today, I just call Paul up and say, hey, let's do a live stream. Let's have a little fun. think Paul's done one small live stream, and it was a lot of fun to do. So
Yeah, I did it for the millions of fans out there that we have.
Paul's got a couple of videos that, and I said this in my video before, and I'm losing control of this gimbal, so apologies for that. But he's got a couple of videos that are very informative, and it's got like 40 to 60,000 views. So he's got the potential if he wants to do YouTube. I personally want to see his live, as I keep dropping the gimbal. I personally want to see his live when he's over in Japan or Brazil or Spain, London. Just a little glimpse of what it's like over there. We want to talk about the industry he's in because...
Well, now, I guess I could do that now. I've got a phone that has international data free again.
So, in fact, I called him the other day and said, hey, Paul, are you going to be available to run this health and welfare net? He's like, I'm in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's why. That's why the ringtone kind of went funky there. So
now the cool thing is, there are currently methods where even when I'm in Tokyo, I can still get on a little handheld radio and talk to everybody here on the radio. But that's only when the internet's available.
Well, I talked to him one time. I was in Frisco. I had my handheld radio. And I looked down and it said he was 6,200 some odd miles away, some weird direction. I was like, and plus he came with a Japanese call sign, which started with a J, so I knew he was in Japan. But it was really cool.
And I know a lot of people, when I talk about radio, they say, when I say, oh, I talk to people in Philippines, and they say, well, I could just do a cell phone. Well, I'm doing it for fun most of the time, but if there's a disaster, those cell phones may not be working.
Yeah, if you lose internet, at least I'm on AT&T. I'm not bashing AT&T, but a lot of the internet providers also will link into the towers. So he said, well, I got internet on my cell phone. Well, if Spectrum or AT&T or whoever is providing the internet to that cell tower goes down, and that's what you have at home, you have no internet, whether it's cellular or home. So you got to have backups, and plus you lose a lot of the phone communications because a lot of that stuff now all... Okay, let me fix this. Here's the forehead cam, guys. How's my forehead doing?
Also, the other thing is, during major disasters, I mean major disasters, take 9/11, I mean that is a major thing, but even if cell towers are up, the government takes over a certain amount of that, if not most or all, so they can communicate. So even though cell towers may be up, you may still not be able to access them. So radio is, you know, whether it's ham radio or GMRS or the FRS, you need to have that in your emergency plan so you can contact your family if you're not near each other during something like that.
And I have a friend that lives in the colony, and she was on the phone with her sister, and her sister was in Tower 2. And she heard the boom when the plane hit Tower 1. She said, I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. There's been an accident here. She didn't touch her sister, several days after that before she actually got to get a hold of her sister. So
ham radio guys were all over New York performing communications for emergency services. Yeah, that's a good example. Probably one of the best examples. But
well, look at Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. They're
same things.
Radio communication was not working. You couldn't get voice traffic anywhere. But people using, I think it was PSK31 and
some kind of digital modes
and Morse code.
Probably
Morse code was able to get through, but other versions were not able to get through. So I know we're harping a lot about preparedness and a lot about ham radio, and that may or may not appeal to you. But to get into ham radio, every ham I think has more than one hobby. You probably have how many hobbies? You got a few.
I've got too many. I've scaled back some, but
so
we're just trying to teach you how to be able to get out in life during emergencies. So there, I'm trying to link it to the channel. So, getting out in life when there's emergencies.
So, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Thank y'all for joining us. Really means a lot. If you haven't, please like the video. Especially, please subscribe. Subscribe to PrepHam.
PrepHam Paul.
PrepHam Paul.
Try to put some informational videos out and maybe a live tower climb or two.
So thank you for joining us. Let me switch the hands here. Paul, what's your tagline? Do you get a tagline for yours? No tagline.
You all take care. I'll figure one out someday.
Okay. So
thanks for joining us.
So I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. But for now, y'all take care. Be safe. Bye.
Bye.